I was driving alone on a desolate road, enveloped by darkness that seemed to stretch on endlessly. The only company I had was the eerie hum of the engine and the rhythmic patter of raindrops on the windshield. It was a stormy night, the kind that made you question your decision to venture out in the first place. But I had no choice. I needed to reach my destination before dawn broke. As I pressed on the accelerator, my headlights cut through the dense fog, revealing an almost surreal landscape. Tall trees loomed on either side of the road, their branches clawing at the sky. The wind howled mournfully, carrying with it a sense of foreboding. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that unseen eyes were fixed upon me, awaiting my misstep. With each passing mile, the road seemed to grow more treacherous. Potholes lurked beneath the surface, waiting to swallow my tires whole. The rain intensified, transforming the road into a slippery ribbon of danger. Yet I pushed forward, my determination outweighing the nagging voice of caution in my mind. Suddenly, a piercing screech rent the air, tearing through the night. I slammed on the brakes, my heart pounding in my chest. The sound had come from just ahead, where the beam of my headlights revealed a figure lying motionless on the road. Panic welled within me, but a sense of duty compelled me to investigate. As I cautiously approached, the silhouette of a woman emerged from the darkness. Her drenched clothes clung to her frail form, and her face was twisted in anguish. She appeared to be injured, her leg twisted at an unnatural angle. My instincts urged me to help, to offer assistance, but a chill crept up my spine, whispering cautionary tales. Reluctantly, I rolled down the window and called out to her. "Are you okay? Do you need help?" The woman's head slowly turned in my direction, her eyes glinting with an otherworldly luminescence. Her voice, when she spoke, was a haunting melody that sent shivers down my spine. "Please, save me." Compelled by a mix of compassion and an indescribable dread, I reached for my phone to call for help. But as I unlocked the screen, my heart sank. No signal. The realization settled upon me like a heavy fog, intensifying my sense of isolation. I glanced back at the woman, only to find her gone. Fear clawed at my chest as I turned in all directions, desperately searching for any sign of her. Then a flash of movement caught my eye. She was now standing at the edge of the tree line, her figure barely visible amidst the shadows. I could feel her gaze piercing through me, beckoning me to follow. Driven by a mixture of curiosity and a growing unease, I stepped out of the car and cautiously approached the woman. The wind whipped through the trees, carrying with it a cacophony of whispers that I couldn't decipher. Each step I took felt heavier than the last, as if an invisible force sought to keep me away. Soon I found myself deep within the forest, the tangled branches above blotting out the moonlight. The air grew thick with an unsettling stillness, and the silence pressed against my ears. Panic surged within me, urging me to turn back, but an inexplicable compulsion kept me moving forward. I stumbled upon a clearing bathed in an ethereal glow. Shadows danced eerily around me, and the woman stood at its center, her outstretched arm pointing to a hidden path. A chill wind blew through the clearing, whispering ancient secrets that sent shivers down my spine. Before me lay a dilapidated, forgotten graveyard. Tombstones stood crookedly, their inscriptions worn away by time. The woman's gaze never wavered, fixated on a particular grave. My heart thudded heavily as I approached, my steps heavy with trepidation. As I stood before the grave, the truth hit me like a sledgehammer. It bore my own name, etched in weathered stone. Fear gripped me, and I turned to flee, but a cold hand grasped my shoulder, freezing me in place. I turned my head, and the woman's ghostly visage met my gaze. Her voice echoed through the stillness, a lamentation of souls lost to the darkness. "You cannot escape your fate. Embrace it." In that moment, the world around me blurred, and I felt myself being pulled into an abyss of darkness. Shadows enveloped me, suffocating any remnants of hope. My screams echoed through the night, unheard by anyone but the restless spirits of the forgotten. And in that forsaken graveyard, my existence was swallowed whole, condemned to wander forevermore, a victim of the desolate detour that changed the course of my life, sealing my fate in a nightmare from which there was no awakening.